If you missed my three-part series on all of the DC Comics Spring 2027 catalog, you can click in the top right corner to check that out. This video is specifically for the Omnibuses only. Just want to point that all out and clear before I do talk about this. And as always, all of these books can change in terms of the contents, the pages, the price counts. Nothing is final until, of course, we have the book in our hands. So let's go ahead and start talking about all of the DC Omnis. It's the big one, right? It's one that people like me have been asking for ages, and they finally have got it through. And this is the Batgirl Cassandra Cain Omnibus, Volume 1, hardcover at $125. 1,000 pages, collecting her first appearance in the No Man's Land Batman event that rocked the city of Gotham, with Azrael Agent of the Bat 56 through 57 and 60 through 61, Legends of the Dark Knight issue 120, Batman 567 and 569, Detective Comics 734, Superboy 85, The Batman Chronicles 18, Batman Gotham Knights 2, Batman No Man's Land Secret Files issue number 1, the first 19 issues of the 2000 Batgirl run, which I think most people want to see in that oversized format, with Damian Scott art, of course, a story from Batman Gotham City Secret Files issue number 1, Night Games, pages from Young Justice issues 20 through 21, and perhaps the most surprising, the Ghost Batgirl crossover collected in full, published by DC. I love that DC was able to get the rights on this Batgirl Cassandra Cain Omnibus. Not only that, I think that we should celebrate this in tandem because of the way that they have managed to follow up the request for the Tom King Omnibus for Batman Volume 1. Now, with Batgirl in tow, that means we have had 2 straight number ones being reprinted. I think that's something really cool, especially when you see the most wanted out of this entire catalog. This is one that a lot of people, if you are a big Batman fan, big Batgirl fan, Bat Family fan, honestly, just overall, legacy, trauma, friendship, all of this is explored in this run. And, well, until it hits 1 year later, and I'll keep it there. Until it hits 1 year later, this is one of my favorite runs to recommend to newbies, recommend to people who are looking for a way to get into Bat lore. So this is a must pick up. I know that some people will also probably opt to get the DC Finest, which have a tiny bit more content than this, and by tiny bit it's like 2 issues, but this is something that I know people are going to be excited for, people are going to buy, and now there is the choice of the cheaper and also the big prestige format route. We're going to move on to the Animal Man by Jamie Delano and Steve Pugh Omnibus. Now, this doesn't collect the last couple of issues, the last 10 issues of the run, but this does clock in at 960 pages of collected edition material and $125. We have Animal Man issues 51 through 79 in annual issue number 1. Children's Crusade issues 1 through 2 from 1993. The 7th annual of Swamp Thing. And a story from Vertigo Jam issue number 1, Talking Turkey. Whatever they decide to do for the last 10 issues is going to be quite curious and interesting. And I say that because DC, unlike Marvel, do absolute editions, they do deluxe editions. There are other ways to skirt around the last 10 or perhaps even gaps in between issues. And while Marvel, yes, you typically want to push them because they don't do deluxes as much anymore, if at all. Really, the only times we've seen them push those out are the Blood Hunt oversized hardcover for the Red Band edition and the House of X Powers of 10 oversized hardcover reprints, but this is something that I think is really cool to see. I'm personally going to be waiting for this to hit DC Finest, as the only Animal Man that I really want on my shelf is the Chaz Trug and Grant Morrison run. This is something that I think people should still be excited that they are continuing on with this as well. Now we move on to the 16th of February, and this is the Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson Omnibus Volume 2. Clark Kent returns to Earth from his War World adventures. This is the Superman family. These are the twins. You've got Kenan Kong, you've got Natasha Irons, you've got Kara Zor-El, Connor Kent, of course, John, all here with a super family book at $125, 960 pages. This is only going to collect the Philip Kennedy Johnson stories from Action Comics 1047 through 1060, and the 2023 annual as well. Dan Jurgens, Jinwen Yang, and other creators. Mariko Tamaki even had one in there, if my brain recalls correctly. Those will not be in this, but they will be in separate collections instead. I think Leah Williams also had a couple of backups as well. I think 1050 was her backup with Power Girl. So we also have that, the Night Terrors issues, the Superman Kal-El Return Special, Superman Son of Kal-El issues 16 through 18, and the 12-issue series, The Adventures of Superman, Book of El, that tail ends and closes the book on his future state stuff that was in the first omnibus, if that is the way that you're reading this, and also if you've been reading Philip Kennedy Johnson's Superman material for the last 6 years. I can't believe it's been 6 years since Future State, but here we are. Love that this is coming out, and love that it's here and that it's using the Dan Mora cover. I will also mention for the Philip Kennedy Johnson Superman Omni, well, also all of the February ones, we do not have omnibuses for this catalog anyways in the month of January. There are only omnibuses being released in February and onward, but of course any of the omnibuses in December can be pushed back, or any of the ones in November can also be pushed back just in case. So if that is something that you're wondering, if I skipped over anything, nothing has been skipped over for this catalog. We're going to move on to the Bronze Age Omnibus of Justice League of America, Volume 2, 2027 edition at $125, 776 pages, and this is going to collect the issues of Justice League of America 114 through 146. I have not finished the DC Finest Crisis on Earth X trade paperback yet, so perhaps if you guys do watch me on very fine condition to talk about the DC Finest, there is a lot of reading, unfortunately, that I have to catch up to. Part of it is the DC catalog has really sprung up on me, but another part of it is that I am really enjoying Dick Dillon's art, and I love the scratchiness and different vibes that this gives over the Mike Sekowsky era of Justice League of America. I think the writers also have a better understanding of how to make characters feel a little bit differentiated, whereas Gardner Fox very much feels the same. It's no shame to Gardner Fox. This is just something that I would prefer if somebody were to want to read older material before Detroit, before International, Europe, America, etc. This is something that I would definitely recommend. There's a really fun Phantom Stranger story in this as well, where Phantom Stranger calls the rest of the... Anyways, there's a lot of fun to be had in this, and Crisis on Earth X is also collected in here too. We have the second omnibus of Archer's Quest, which goes up to issue 72 of Green Arrow, and Connor Hawk Dragon's Blood by Chuck Dixon and Derek Donovan is also collected in here at 125 pages, $125, 1,040 pages. That would have been a really small omni as we get into the month of March. I am going to be interested to see. I know that there's conflicting information between this and Idlewise, but this was the information given to us by DC Comics. So this is something that will roll, and I'll double check if there are any differences or if they are actually going to tail end that run, and then we get into the Green Arrow Black Canary omnibus, or if they decide to rebrand it, or perhaps it's a cool wedding. I have no idea. That being said, this is what we do have, and I know for Green Arrow fans who have been wanting collected editions for the longest time, this is going to be one to do so. We have a big one. We have Silver Age and Golden Age omnibuses. This is a Bronze Age omnibus that will be, to my knowledge, on period-appropriate paper, the Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 1 of Wonder Woman at $100, 776 pages collecting Wonder Woman 204 through 227, Justice League of America 128 through 129, 143 and 146, Secret Origins 3, Supergirl 9, Superman Girlfriend's Lois Lane, issue number 136, Freedom Fighters 4 through 5, Brave and the Bold issue 131 through 140, Superman, or Super Team Family, I should say, issue number 14, Metal Men 56, and Super Friends issue number 11. I'm going to move on to an Elseworlds title on the 23rd of March. This is the second volume of Elseworlds Superman, $150, 1,080 pages, collecting Superman Red Sun issues 1 through 3, Superman War of the Worlds issue number 1, Superman A Nation Divided issue number 1, Son of Superman original graphic novel, Superman Incorporated number 1, Superman Monster number 1, Superman Last Sun on Earth issues 1 through 2, Superboy's Legion 1 through 2, one issue that I read really recently and I actually quite enjoyed it. If you're a big fan of the Peter David run, I would definitely suggest picking this up for the Supergirl Wings one-shot written by J.M. DeMatteis. We also have Superman Last Stand of Krypton issue number 1, Superman True Brit number 1, Superman The Last Family of Krypton issues 1 through 3, and a story from DC Universe Infinite Holiday Special, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And we move on to the 30th of March. We have the second volume of Supergirl The Silver Age 2027 edition. $99.99, 704 pages, collecting stories from Action Comics 308 through 340, 342, 344 through 350, 353 through 354, and 356 to 376. One thing I love about this particular Omni is that Jim Mooney is a really, really good artist, and I do quite enjoy his storytelling. Another big one that people have been asking for the last couple of years was DC ever going to do this? We have seen this in DC Finest, and I've been reading it through that way. Previously, I had the trade paperbacks that I picked up, the Supergirl by Peter David trade paperbacks. There were 5 of them from my knowledge, gave them all to my buddy. Now, this is out in Omnibus. This is Peter David Supergirl Omnibus Volume 1 coming out on the 6th of April at 1,048 pages. $150, collecting the first 37 issues of the 1996 Supergirl run and annual number 1 and 2 with the 1 million DC issue for Supergirl. Supergirl Prism Double Shot issue number 1, Supergirl Plus number 1, Resurrection Man 16 through 17, Young Justice 12 through 13, and stories from Showcase issue 96. Or issue 8 of 1996, Team Superman Secret Files and Origins number 1, and Adventure Comics 80-page Giant issue number 1. The difference, just like the Batgirl Cassandra Cain Omnibus Volume 1 and the DC Finest, or just like that anyways, they are nearly negligible. So you will have the chance to choose between this and all the DC Finest. Of course, you have to get this in a really, really nice oversized, or to get it in a really nice oversized format, you will have to do some restoration work. But I think the price is definitely well worth it for fans who have been waiting for this for quite a long time. This is definitely something that I would recommend if you are into the internal conflict, if you are into the difference between angels and demons, and is there really a difference between those two warring factions? There is drama, there are high stakes in this book. So if this is something that you're interested in, you should definitely pick it up. We're going to move on to Tom Straw Omnibus Volume 1, releasing that same week. Very similar to the Compendium, except that they are adding pages from Promethea 26 through 27 at $100, 800 pages. We are going to move on to the 13th of April, and this is another DC big book with Batman by Doug Moench, Omnibus Volume 1 at $125, 912 pages. I like a good amount of this content. This is going to collect Batman 360 through 381 and Detective Comics 527 through 547. I know that there's going to be at least some heated debate between people deciding to choose the DC Finest Batman line over this, because the DC Finest Batman line I find to be quite more fulfilling in the reading, even though I do have some small issues with the Blind Justice one, but those are personal and less so to do with the story, instead of just getting the Omnis with the creator attached. Whenever we get to Volume 2, Volume 3, and we get to the Red Skies, and we of course see Doug Moench coming back onto the title, I am quite interested to see how they decide to map those. But for anybody who is looking for, oh man, is DC ever going to do post-crisis Batman, or even the years of the 80s where we have pre-crisis Batman, I think this is a pretty good indicator to see how they're going to push these out in due time. So there is an ending point to the Bronze Age. Harley Quinn by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti Omnibus Volume 2 is going to get a brand new edition at $100, 864 pages, and this is going to collect the exact same material as the previous one, so Harley Quinn 17 through 30, DC Sneak Peek Harley Quinn issue number 1. We also got the Road Trip Special, Be Careful of What You Wish For Special Edition, Harley Quinn and Our Gang of Harleys, and Harley's Little Black Book, issues 1 through 6. We've already seen Volume 1 be reprinted, and now that this is getting a Volume 2, perhaps Volume 3 is also coming out on the way. This is coming out on the 13th of April, as I did forget to mention that. We also have the 20th of April giving us the second and final omnibus of the Marv Wolfman Deathstroke, the Terminator omnibus line at $125. 1,008 pages, collecting Deathstroke issue number 0 and 26 through 60, annuals 3 through 4, New Titans 122, and also Dark Stars issue 32. We have a new edition of New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 4 as well, as the team, very much related or partly related to Deathstroke because Joey's there, they are trying to get past the crisis. This is $100, 800 pages, same material as the last time with New Teen Titans, 10 through 31, and annual issues 1 through 2, with a story from Omega Men issue 34. I typically don't do adverts in the middle of my videos because I don't have a channel sponsor, and the people that I work for, we have sponsors, but I personally do not have a sponsor, so in no way is this going to intrude on you guys. But one thing I do want to quickly note, you can check out all of the books in this catalog on comicreleases.com, where we have the largest, most up-to-date spreadsheet, not only on DC, but also all the other publishers as well. If you click on one of these, we also have the issue cover or the collected edition cover to whatever it is that you're looking at. And we also have what it collects and affiliates so that you can just go to wherever it is that you are wanting to buy from with the quickest way possible. I also mentioned this because we are rolling out a really big site update in the future that I think you, if you are a brand new viewer or if you are a Patreon subscriber, you are going to be very, very much in for the ride. There's something that we're very proud of here. Check out comicreleases.com for the full list. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. On the 27th of April, we have the final volume of Chip Zdarsky's run on Batman at $125, 1,000 pages. This is going to collect the Chip Zdarsky written stories from Batman issues 137 through 157, which means that the Teenie Howard story in Batman 151 and the Kelly Thompson story in issue 152 are not going to be included here. Catwoman issues 57 through 58 are also going to be collected in here, as that is part of the Gotham War. And speaking of the Gotham War, we also have the Prelude to Gotham War, the Gotham War Battle Lines, Red Hood issues 1 through 2, and Scorched Earth issue number 1, all collected in here as well. So the same material that was collected in that standard size hardcover that came out a couple of years ago. We also have stories from Batman Black and White issue number 4, The Green Deal, Absolute Power Ground Zero issue number 1, Stage 2, and Detective Comics 1027, Many Happy Returns, seeing Matt Fraction get back onto the Batman title, or a Batman title, with Chip Zdarsky. Those two creators, of course, as you know, the sex criminal creators, are going to be doing that story, or did that story, and it is already collected in here. It is really nice to see DC not only capitalize on making sure that all the recent Batman omnibuses have been put out, it is nice just to have something complete and full. And as Chip Zdarsky is Marvel exclusive now, he is probably going to be focusing on stuff that is not named Bruce Wayne. So the next one after this, an oversized, I'd assume would probably have to be an oversized edition of Hush Tua by Jim Lee and that Loeb guy at some point, and perhaps we might see an absolute of it someday. But for now, this is going to be the most modern Batman, singular Batman, adjectiveless Batman, that we will get for quite a while. Next, we have the House of Secrets Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 2 at $125, 872 pages, 27th of April, collecting House of Secrets 112 through 154. This also has the nice previous design. I also will mention for the Chip Zdarsky Omni, I didn't mean that, oh, it's going to be the last Batman Omni that they reprint because, or print out or collect. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more Batman printed. I'm just talking about that is going to be the most recent Batman run because Matt Fraction is now on Batman, and there's obviously not enough material to be collected in Omnibus. So that is recency, as it goes. We gotta wait a while for those Fraction and Taylor Omnis to come out. We have, on the 4th of May, one of my most anticipated ones, New Titans Omnibus Volume 2 at $150, 1,250 pages, collecting the New Titans issues 71 through 76 and annual issues 7 through 8. Team Titans issues 1 through 5 and the specific one-shots. Kilowatt, Mirage, Knight Rider, Red Wing, Terra, and the Sellout Special all collected in here, along with the first and second issues of Showcase 93, and a crossover with Deathstroke issues 14 through 16, and the 1992 Deathstroke Annual. We have the Wonder Woman by George Perez Omnibus Volume 3 coming in at $99.99, 672 pages on the 4th of May. This is also going to collect the same as the last edition, Wonder Woman 46 through 62 and 168 through 169, Wonder Woman 600, and War of the Gods 1 through 4. We've got another Wonder Woman Omni releasing out on the 4th of May. This is the Wonder Woman Rebirth Children of the Gods Omnibus at $125, 1,000 pages, collecting Wonder Woman 26 through 57, annuals 1 through 2, Wonder Woman Steve Trevor issue number 1, Justice League Dark issue number 4 as a part of a crossover. And speaking of the crossover, we also have the Alpha and Omega issues with Justice League Dark and Wonder Woman The Witching Hour, that crossover I just mentioned. We also have the Wonder Woman 75th Anniversary Special and a story from DC Rebirth Holiday Special, issue number 1. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, collected in here. A lot of this material is done by Shea Fontana, who does the first part or the first arc-ish of the run, and is followed up by James Robinson, who picks up on some loose threads from Jeff Johns' final arc of Justice League with Grail and a couple of other characters that are also thrown in there. Steve Orlando also gets a trial run with Zermanico in at the end of the title, but James Tynion again does the crossover, and Tim Seeley is the one who does the Halloween holiday special. Although, I have read Diana in a couple of Halloween issues in the mid-2000s. I guess that counts. We have on the 11th of May, one of my other most anticipated. I feel like this is a really good month for Omnis. This is $100, 776 pages for Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp's The Green Lantern Omnibus. If you want something completely different from the Hal Jordan that you're used to seeing with the core, and if you want a nice cop procedural, it's a pretty good book to check out. We also have Steve Olive on the colors, and Zermanico, who also does the 3-issue Black Stars limited series in between seasons 1 and 2. The Green Lantern 1 through 12 and Annual number 1 and Green Lantern Season 2 issues 1 through 12 are going to be collected in here. We have the Amethyst Princess of Gemworld Omnibus. I can't believe that this is finally happening. I, again, have only read the Amy Reeder, or like really anyways, delved into the Amy Reeder 6-issue series that was a part of Brian Michael Bendis' Wonder Comics line that came out in the late 2010s, early 2020s. This is $125, 952 pages, collecting the DC Comics Presents issue number 63, a story from Legion of Superheroes 298, which is where she makes her first appearance, the 1983 12-issue series, and the first annual in that series, Amethyst Princess of Gemworld 1985 1 through 16, and Amethyst Princess of Gemworld Special number 1, along with the 4-issue 1987 run. We're going to move on to a brand new edition of Walt Simonson's Orion Omnibus at $100, 752 pages, coming out on the 25th of May. Orion 1 through 25, Showcase 94, DC Universe Holiday Bash 1, Fourth World Gallery 1, Jack Kirby's Fourth World 9 through 11 and 13, New Gods Secret Files issue number 1, Legends of the DC Universe 80-page Giant issue number 2, and we also have Secret Origins of Supervillains Giant 1 and Countdown 24 here, with a brand new curated and edited mapping by Walt Simonson himself. He was consulted for the brand new mapping of this book. We got the 2027 edition of Jeff Johns' Flash Omnibus at $125, 848 pages, collecting the Flash issues 164 through 191. June, a big month for Omnis, and perhaps maybe the biggest deal because we've seen reprints of the trade paperbacks. We've seen smaller collections here and there, but never the full thing. Well, it is finally here. This is Legends of the Dark Knight Omnibus Volume 1 at $150, 1,180 pages. Oh my goodness, this is big. This is going to collect Legends of the Dark Knight issues 1 through 38 and the first annual, Batman 474, and Detective Comics 641. This is a big deal, not only in the case of people have been asking for this for a long time. I think people saw the Venom and the Gothic new editions, but they were like, why are they doing this? Why not just print this out? Well, we finally have an answer to that, and we did ask if we could add, or they could add, the Man Who Falls trade paperback by Dennis O'Neil. That's sort of a companion with Shaman. I want to give MP another big thank you for that as well. One of the biggest Batman fans that I know in the world. This is something that I cannot wait to have on my shelf. There are a lot of stories in here that I find to be fantastic. Some of them quite funny. Batman Venom has one of my favorite Batman laughing panels of all time that is now emojified. So this has everything that you could possibly want, and this is... honestly, that's just a great cover. I think this symbolizes everything quite well. I think it's really impossible to find any of the covers, whether they be by Klaus Janson or somebody else, that really fit the tone and the style of this run just as well as this does. So it has my full support. We have Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey in omnibus format at $100, 720 pages, collecting the 28 issues of the Dawn of DC run. Of course, this was Kelly Thompson's first long ongoing project at DC, grabbing, well, DC getting her from Marvel and deciding to just let her run loose and wild with a whole bunch of bonkers and crazy ideas. And now she's gone even bigger with Absolute Wonder Woman. Of course, you may know her from her Captain Marvel run, Avengers West Coast, maybe most famously Jeff the Landshark. I am quite excited to get this on my bookshelf, and oh man, I'd love to see a new cover from Leo Romero for this book. We have, on the 8th of June, the Palmiotti and Justin Gray Jonah Hex Omni at $125, 824 pages, collecting the 35 issues of Jonah Hex from the 2005 run. More so Marvel Punisher, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Justin Gray, of course, who joins, versus the Jimmy Palmiotti that you might be more familiar with, who does the humor over in Harley Quinn. We have the third omnibus of Suicide Squad by John Ostrander at $150, 1,104 pages, collecting Suicide Squad 40 through 67. War of the Gods issue number 3, the Oracle Year 1 issue from Batman Chronicles, the Suicide Squad Raise the Flag 8-issue limited series, Suicide Squad War Crimes, profiles from Who's Who in the DC Universe 1 through 3, 5, 7 through 9, and 12, profiles from the Who's Who Update 87, issues 1 and 2, profiles from Who's Who, the Definitive Directory of the Universe, issues 1, 7, 8, and 21, trading cards, Atlantis Operation, the DC Heroes role-playing reference trade paperback, and the full pull-out Suicide Squad poster from Suicide Squad issues 40 and 43. This is a big one. I love that they managed to get all three within such a short time, and perhaps one of the most important runs from DC, showing you that these D-listers can end up stealing your hearts. Although I think all of that stealing your hearts moments, a lot of those happen in Omnibus Volume 2. I think that's where it really starts. We have the big one. This is not the final contest or finalized contest or anything. This is just to let people know that they are going to be doing the Great Darkness Saga in omnibus format. You may know this, of course, as the Paul Levitan Keith Giffen story that shocked the world. $150, 1,200 pages for this infamous storyline. And again, the contests that you see on screen are not finalized, but this is at least what is listed and is out there to the public for this particular collected edition. We have in omnibus format the 1988 event Millennium, $150 as well, 1,104 pages. Joe Staton and Steve Englehart doing, oh, what are the Manhunters doing? This is going to collect Millennium 1 through 8 and corresponding text articles in issues 2 through 6, Action Comics 596, Adventures of Superman, 436 through 437, Batman 415, Blue Beetle 20 through 21, Booster Gold 24 through 25, Captain Atom issue number 11, Detective Comics 582, Firestorm 67 through 68, Flash 8 through 9, Green Lantern Corps 220 to 221, Infinity Inc. 46 through 47, the A stories to Justice League International 9 through 10, Legion of Superheroes 42 through 43, Outsiders 27 through 28, Secret Origins 22, The Spectre 10 through 11, Suicide Squad 9, Superman 13 through 14, Teen Titans Spotlight 18 through 19, Wonder Woman 12 through 13, and Young All-Stars 8 through 9. We have on the 22nd of June, the second omnibus of Justice League of America in the Silver Age at $150, 1,056 pages, collecting Justice League of America 31 through 76 and Mystery in Space, issue number 75. If you're a big Mike Sekowsky fan like me, this might be the one for you. If you like to see satellite stuff, well, not satellite stuff, you like to see the round table, this is something that you should definitely pick up. But if you're looking for a banger of a Justice League run, I think you can definitely do better. But there is something to appreciate about the old comics and how they shaped up, and we definitely wouldn't have a framework of how this all manages to pan out without Gardner Fox's steady hand in a lot of DC titles in the 50s and 60s. So shout out to Mike Sekowsky and Gardner Fox. And the last book that we're going to be talking about is Wonder Woman the Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1 on period appropriate paper at $100, 776 pages, collecting All-Star Comics 8, Sensation Comics 1 through 24, and Wonder Woman 1 through 7.
If you haven't yet, check out our website, comicreleases.com, my and Webhead's love letter to comics, a hotspot where you can finally figure out what's coming out, when, from what place. Our unique upcoming website tracker in the Collected Editions tab makes sure that you're on top of every single collected edition coming out on the market with release date updates to the minute, from the tiniest graphic novels to the giant Generator Deluxe hardcovers as large as an absolute. Our unique spreadsheet not only gives out the most accurate information out there, but our format also filters and ensure that you can find your books as quickly as possible. The tracker also gives out links to domestic and international retailers so that you can purchase your comic books at the snap of a finger. We are also proud to host monthly solicitations as per given by the publishers that generously send us information to give to you all. From the Ultimate Universe to the creator-loved Oceans and Universes, we specialize in giving you the most readable format of solicitations without any of the annoying advertisements. If you also donate to our Patreon at just $2 a month, which is less than a coffee at Starbucks, you will receive access to a special watch list dedicated to individually tracking items that are on your wish list, past or present. Place in your tracking number and make sure that these books also not only come in safe, you can even put in special comments on these as well. On top of that, your name will also show up at the end of every single Dom of X video creates as a huge thank you. That is comicreleases.com. For more information, check this out down in the description. If you also want to contact me or Webhead, check the contact forms down in the description or email me down in the description.
Now that does it for the Omnibus video. Let me know down in the comment section if you, like me, are going to buy, I think, at least 10 omnibuses on this list. What are you most excited for? What are you the most surprised for? What may you not be hyped up for as other people are? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. As of course, none of this is finalized until that buzzer sounds. I'd also like to let people know, if you want the full recap, you can click on the top right hand corner somewhere around here. You can check a playlist down here so that you guys can watch the rest of the DC recaps, and of course go to comicreleases.com if you have not. That's going to be it for me. Please stay safe, everybody, and have a Dom-tastic day wherever you are.